Silence in space is not the absence of sound. It is the absence of witnesses. In 1977, a radio telescope at Ohio State University picked up a signal so powerful, so intentional, that the astronomer Jerry Eamon circled it and wrote one single word: "Wow." For 72 seconds, the universe screamed at us. Then, it went quiet. We celebrated this as a breakthrough. But what if it wasn't a greeting? What if it was a warning? Leading scientists, including Stephen Hawking, have warned us. If the universe speaks, we should be very afraid to answer. Welcome to Star Voyager. Today, we explore the signals humanity was never supposed to hear. Signals that prove we are not alone. And that might be the most terrifying thing of all. The WOW signal came from the direction of the Sagittarius constellation. It was 30 times stronger than the background noise of deep space. For decades, we tried to find it again, pointing our best technology at that same spot. But there was only silence. This brings us to the most chilling explanation: the dark forest theory. Imagine the universe is a dark forest filled with silent hunters. Every civilization is an armed hunter, creeping through the trees like a ghost. If they find another life form, they don't wave hello. They strike, because in a forest of survival, any light is a target. Did we dodge a bullet in 1977? Or did we just announce our location to something that is already on its way? Today, we continue to scan the heavens with telescopes much more powerful than anything they had in 1977. But the silence remains unbroken. Scientists call this the Great Silence. It's a haunting void where there should be voices. Perhaps the WOW signal was just a cosmic glitch, a ghost in the machine. Or perhaps the truth is far more sinister. Imagine a dark forest at night. It is silent, but it is not empty. The silence is a survival strategy. In this forest, to be heard is to be found, and to be found is to be destroyed. If the WOW signal was a scream in that forest, then our planet has already been pinpointed. We are like children shouting in a basement, unaware that the hunters have already turned their heads towards the sound. What do you think? Is the universe empty? Or are we just the only ones foolish enough to make a noise? Is the silence a sign of peace, or a warning of a predator already on its way? Leave your theory in the comments, because sometimes silence is the only thing keeping us safe for now. This leads us to one of the most chilling questions in modern science: the Fermi paradox. Think about the scale. There are over 200 billion stars in our galaxy alone, and there are at least 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. The math is simple. There should be millions of advanced civilizations out there. Some should be billions of years older than us. By now, the sky should be glowing with their signals. But when we look up, we see nothing but a cold, dead void. This silence is not just a mystery. It is a warning. If life is so common, why hasn't a single soul said hello? Scientists have a terrifying answer: the Great Filter. It's a wall, a point in time where every civilization, without exception, meets its end. Perhaps it happens at the dawn of nuclear energy. Perhaps it's an artificial intelligence that turns on its creators. Or maybe the filter is something that lives in the dark between stars, waiting for a civilization to become loud enough to be noticed. We are currently screaming into that darkness. We are looking for a needle in a cosmic haystack, but we must ask ourselves, what happens if the needle finds us first? Because once you realize what's actually out there, you understand that it's not a needle at all. It's a spear pointed directly at our heart. But what if the silence of the cosmos is not a sign of the absence of life? What if it is a sign of absolute terror? Imagine the universe as a dark forest. It is a vast, pitch-black wilderness filled with countless armed hunters. They crawl through the shadows like ghosts, holding their breath, listening for any sound. Every hunter is cautious because they don't know who else is wandering in this darkness. In a forest like this, survival is the only priority. Any civilization that reveals its location is like a fool lighting a campfire in the middle of the night. It becomes a beacon, a target. In this forest, there are no friends. There are only threats that must be eliminated before they eliminate you. This is the brutal logic of the dark forest. We, humanity, have been screaming into this void for more than a century. We sent out radio waves, gold records, and messages of peace, desperately hoping for an answer. We were like children calling out in the dark, unaware of the predators watching from the trees.
But now, it seems, in the deep shadows of the Milky Way, we have finally been heard. And whatever is coming toward us in response is not coming to talk. It is not coming to trade. It is coming to ensure that the forest remains silent. Once again, are we ready for what happens next? Or is our history about to become just another forgotten whisper in the cold, deafening silence of the stars? The Fermi paradox is not just a scientific question. It is a haunting silence that spans 13.8 billion years of cosmic history. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, contains at least 100 billion stars, and many of them have Earth-like planets in the habitable zone. Mathematically, the universe should be teeming with life, noisy with radio signals, and glowing with the lights of distant civilizations. Yet, when we point our most powerful telescopes toward the stars, we hear nothing but the cold, indifferent static of the void. Scientists have proposed many solutions. Some say life is rare, others suggest that civilizations inevitably destroy themselves before they can reach the stars. But the dark forest theory offers a more chilling perspective. It suggests that the silence is intentional. In a universe where growth is constant but resources are limited, every civilization becomes a potential threat to every other. Trust is impossible when light years separate us. Therefore, the only logical way to survive is to remain hidden. To speak is to die. This is why the forest is silent. We have spent decades broadcasting our existence, sending gold records and radio greetings into the dark, acting like children playing with fire in a world of shadows. We assumed that any intelligence capable of crossing the stars would be benevolent, peaceful, and wise. We never considered that they might simply be hunters. Now, as our signals reach further into deep space, we must face a terrifying reality. We may have already been heard. Perhaps the great silence we observe is a warning, a legacy of fear left by vanished worlds. If we are lucky, our small blue light will remain unnoticed for a little longer. But the clock is ticking, and the shadows are moving. As you look at the night sky tonight, remember that the stars are not just lights, they are eyes. And in the dark forest, the hunter who reveals himself is the first to vanish. Sleep well, Earth. The universe is watching, and it is time for us to be quiet. The universe is vast. Don't get lost in the silence. Subscribe for more cosmic mysteries.